Hi and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we're going to take all of our objects that we created as white box objects and put them into Unity. So we can then start building a scene in Unity. So let's get started. So first of all, just select all of your objects and just move them away from 0 like that, just so 0 is empty. And then what we're going to do is start, we only need one barrel, so we can delete one of those. Get your barrel, move it to 0 using the transform, type in 0, 0, 0 like so. You can see it's over there now. Let me turn on edges so I can see it's selected. Yep. Right, and there's a few things you got to check. We want to make sure that our rotation has still got the 90 degrees on it, and it looks like it has. So you can see it down here, 90 degrees. If we just type 90 just to be sure. Yep. And that's fine. So now that there we go, there it is. Yep, that's fine. So now we go to File, Save As, Save Selected. Go to your Raw Project Files folder in Meshes and start saving them out. And you want to save the file names the same as your object name over here. So you go WB Steel Barrel 01, because that's what we've called it there. It's actually 001. That's fine. 01 is fine. WB Steel Barrel 01 and click Save. And then we get that object, and we make sure Effect Pivot is turned off, and we move it over there as in the saved pile. Let me just save that scene. Right, now if we load this barrel back in all by itself, open WB Steel Barrel open, it'll just be that one thing all by itself, and that's what you want. And just to show you that that's going to work and that we can continue doing the rest in the same format, we're going to look at Unity and we're going to go to our Meshes folder and we're going to pull in, go into your raw project files here, Meshes, and where it says WB Steel Barrel, click it and drag it into your Meshes folder there like so. It might take a little while to convert because it converts it into its own Unity format. But once it's done, there it is, Steel Barrel. It looks like it's up the right way around, it's not lying on its side. And we can put that into the scene where it's going to live over here. Press F to zoom in, and there is our first object in our scene. We can change this color so it's not red because it's using a default material. A bit of an off-white colour. There you go. So there you go. There's our barrel moved over from 3D Studio Max, sitting nicely in our meshes folder there. WB steel barrel. Okay, so now we leave Unity, we save that. One other thing, while I'm here, I want you to change this quad. This is the map. So we want to change that name and call it map underscore plane, like that, just so we know what it is. There's going to be a lot of objects going in here now, and that's going to get lost. So now that's clear as to what object that is, instead of just saying quad. We've got to keep our names consistent. Okay, so we save that, save scene, save project, and we move it back, and we continue saving our objects. So we're now loading our, just click save there, open. Right, so that was our barrel over there, we've done that. Let's do a tree. Move that to 0, like so. Make sure that's the only thing selected. Go file, save as, save selected. And again, we call it the same, WB Oak Tree 01. WB Oak Tree 01. And we click save. We move it over there. And we do the next. Move it to 0. Like so. Make sure it's the only one selected. File, save as, save selected. And we call it WB Oak Tree 02. Quick tip, just click on the first one and you get your file name and just change that to 02 like that. Save. Move it out of the way. Okay, right, I've done 3. It's fairly clear what you have to do. Go through every one of these objects and do exactly the same. I'm going to do it, and you're going to see me do it on super speed fast forward mode, and I'll come back once it's done. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, in this one we didn't set the we didn't reset the X form, and we didn't rotate the pivot, so we're going to have to do that now. So what I'm going to do is raise it up so that the base of it is roughly on the floor. It doesn't have to be exact because we can move it around in Unity anyway. Then effect pivot only, move the pivot to 0 like that. Blink. And we're going to reset the X form like that. Collapse the stack. You'll get used to doing this after a while. So collapse the stack, say yes. Effect pivot only. Go to your rotation, right click, and type 90 in there to return like that. And that's it, and then just carry on. Save selected. WB Giant Rock. Save. Then move on to the next. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed that there was two objects called the same name. So I've just renamed this object WB Medium Rock 03 and saved it as the same name there. Nearly done. Okay, so we're on the last one. Finally. There are some things in an artist's sort of life that are pretty boring, and I've got to say this is one of them. Saving out all the files, ready to build the scene. It's just, I mean, sometimes you do it one by one as you build them, but in Whitebox you can build them so fast you end up with a lot of objects. Just rotate this 90. There we go. Save as selected. This is number 1. Obviously I've already got a 1, so I'm going to cancel that and change that to, let's just call it 6 because I know there's not that many. So if I save as selected, yeah, I could have called it 5. There isn't a 5, but never mind. 6. Save, and that is that. That's all the objects done. Anything's left, I don't need to do these obviously because we've got this in there already, and that's just a light which we're not going to export. So these are all our objects that we've just saved out as individual files. Now if you go to your folder where they live, here you can see them all here. Now one by one we should be able to drag them into Unity. Let's just get Unity on the screen, pull this in, just drag each of these into the meshes folder in Unity. Make sure you've got meshes selected down here, and start scroll. We don't need scale 1 box, we don't need that one. Okay, let's drag the axe in, and there it is. Let's drag the big tree in. They all look like they're up the correct way. Yep, that's fine. Let's drag a flagstone in. In fact, let's drag all of those flagstones in together. Yep, they look like they're fine. Bink. Okay, so one's wrong. Flagstone 3 has got all the objects in. So we're going to delete that one from Unity, and we're going to go and investigate what happened there. Delete. So go back into Max, save this scene because we want it. Then we're going to open up Flagstone 3. Open. Okay, so what I didn't do, I didn't select save selected, so just do that again. File, save as, save selected, Flagstone 3, save, yes. Okay, minimize that. Let's try that again. Flagstone 3. Let's have a look. And there it is. Fine. Okay, so giant rock. That's fine. hut door. This is an animated object, so we may just, even though it's fine, just move that way. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, see, it's got an actual animation on it. If I click on that, you should be able to see it down here. There you go. Look. So there's an open and close animation on the door already. So it's exported it with the animation on, which is really cool. So we stop that. Just minimize that again, and we'll carry on with the rest of them. So let's do hut porch, large rock, down to, let's do those three. I'm doing them gradually in case we have any errors with them, so we can, there you go, log pile. Same thing happened with log pile. Look, I didn't save selected, so we go back into Max, save as, save selected, log pile 01, save, yes. Okay, go back into Unity. Just delete it from there for a minute. And let's just drag it back in again. Log pile 01. And there we have it. That's fine now. Okay, so main hut, the big one. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it came in fine. They're all at the correct orientation, which is really good. Medium big tree. And there we have it. There's all our objects inside Unity, inside the meshes folder. What I'm going to do here is create another folder. Create folder. I'm going to call this white box. And here I'm going to create another folder, and I'm going to call this one high detail, like that. And we're going to put all of these white box objects inside this folder, and when we do our high detail equivalents, we're going to put them in this folder. These scale boxes can be moved into the temp folder. They still exist in the scene, they won't go anywhere. Unity is pretty good like that. It does, you know, even if you move stuff around in here, it still keeps it intact within your scene. So now we're going to select all of these, not that one, yeah, and that one. So it's a steel barrel, and we're going to move it into white box. There we go. Keeps it all nice, clean, and organized. So now we've got all our white box objects here. Right, let's have a look. Let's just drop one in and see what it looks like. We're not going to build a scene now because there's something else we have to do before we start, but we can just have a look. Here's our hut. Rotate it into position. Okay, it's a little smaller than the. It's going to be slightly raised, yep. Because our porch is going to go on the front. But I think that is pretty cool in terms of size, and we'll have a look at that in more detail once we get all the rest of the objects in. So in the next lecture we're going to set out our terrain and start shaping that in this area so we can then build our scene in white box mode. But there we go, it's coming together slowly. We now have our first object, or first two objects actually. We've got our steel barrel and our hut in place. So make sure you save. So you can see up here it retains all the names and brings all the names through from Max. Just make sure you save scene and save project. And that's it for this lecture. I'll see you in the next one.